Okay, I'm just looking at pound dollar, and I think we're getting a reversal from this level, so I'm just going to open up a few positions. And okay, I'm already long from the bottom, but if we come down, I'll actually I'll take those out for break even, but I think we're just going to pop lower for a bit. So I'm actually looking for a sell on down, and then actually looking for a buy back in to come back up. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, so we went a little bit higher, and notice that we just tagged this last resistance after the drop down here. So we just tagged that as well, and now we're dropping down. So I've actually added to my position, and you're looking for a move back down. Notice that we sort of have all this congestion in this area here, so this is actually a good place to start taking out your profit. And notice that it lines up with the 200 moving average, which is obviously a dynamic support. So we're looking to come down, take profit in this zone. So from where we are now is about 10 to 15 pips. So I'm short a number of positions, and let's hopefully we move down shortly. I think we will, so let's wait and see. Okay, so as we can see, price has been clearly rejected from that area, and this whole move up is weakening. So looking for a rollover now into this zone, and we'll start taking out profit. So again, looking at this sort of region here, and this is the best place where I'd like to start taking out pips. So let's wait and see. Okay, so we're coming right down into our zone now. We're up a whole lot of pips down there, as you can see. So I'm looking to get a bit more out of this, but we might be rejected across, as I said before, this congestion. This whole congestion zone here might be stopping us. So I'm just going to wait for the reaction of price. We're up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, about 60 pips at the moment, but it would be good to get about 100. So I'm just going to watch price for a bit and then make a decision. Okay, we've seen a rejection from that level, so I'm going to start closing these pips out. Unfortunately, price has come back a bit, but yeah, maybe I should have taken it a little bit earlier, but that's alright. Yeah, so it's been rejected right off that area, that congestion zone. So okay, probably could have made a bit more of that. I'm just going to wait for the candle to close, another 25 seconds, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so we still haven't decided if we're coming down, but we are still looking short at this stage. So can't see a lot of buying, but definitely it's a bit of buying coming back in. So I'm just going to wait for a turnaround on the 1 minute chart to confirm that I actually close out my positions, and just for safety's sake, bringing my stops down to just above the high in case there's something very erratic. Normally it will only be news, but if something does come out, then very tight stops. As you can see, we're up a number of pips. Let's just have a look at the 1 minute chart, and then we'll make a decision on what we do next. Okay, so it looks like we're pushing up, so I'm just going to keep these positions open, and I still sense and expect that we're going to get a last push down into the pivot area, and then we're going to get a rejection up. So I'm just going to wait for that and see what happens. Then we'll start taking out some profit. Alright, so finally starting to break down again. Let's see what sort of reaction we get. If we get a spike down and anywhere near this pivot, then I'm going to look at start closing these out. But as you can see, we're up close to about 70 pips, and just watch for a few seconds. Hopefully we get a push down into this level. As you can see, there was a big area of buying in there, so let's just make that a bit brighter. You can see that one green candle which shows here there was buyers stepping in, but immediately it was met with sellers. So at that level no one was interested in buying. The only people who are interested in buying are a lot lower at this stage, and so we want to be closing our positions when other people are beginning to accumulate for a possible move higher. So that could happen right here off the average. Let's just watch, but I do believe we are going to get a quick spike down. So almost there. Let's just watch the price action, and if demand comes in at this level, which it well could, again this looks like quite a strong area of support in the past across this region. So we'd definitely like to come into this zone strongly and pierce into it, and that would give us a good reason. So I can't really see any buying at all on the 1 minute chart, and so we looks like we actually could be moving a bit lower. So if we actually look at the 15-minute chart, it's interesting because we are approaching a trend line as well. So if we get a break through that trend line, then we actually could go quite a bit lower, because the move from the high is a sharp move down, and this is a typical corrective pattern that we're seeing, this sort of wavy pattern. This is a typical corrective pattern after a strong move in one direction, which we can see here. So we're already short from the top, as you've already seen, but if we break that trend line, that would definitely help our case to go lower. So there's our trend line there. Another spike down at that zone would definitely give us a few more pips, and it'd be nice to break 100 for last day of the week. So let's just wait a few more minutes and see what happens. Okay, so I'm actually going to start to close these out. We're getting a bit of a turnaround, and I'll leave 2 positions in and move my stop right down, and if we do go lower, then that would be amazing, and I'll actually be targeting the lows down here. So looking at another 44 positions on each 44 pips on each position. So if we get down there, that will be a great place to start taking out some profit. We also have a trend line coming in across the bottom there too, so that would possibly act as some sort of support. So let's come back later on the session, and in fact let's just have a look at our history first and see what we made. Okay, so we didn't make as much as we wanted to, but we're still open an extra 15 pips on the 2 remaining positions. So it's possible if we do get a bounce from here, we could be going higher, but if we break this trend line, that would possibly indicate a change of direction. So let's come back later in the session and see how things all turned out. Okay, so we did get a big spike up from the low there, and as you can see, we're long again, and it's just before London Open. We're getting a bit of rejection, but I think we are going to go higher from here. As you can see, my stop is in a safe place from below my entry. It's about 10 pips. It's protected by the support level, it's protected by the moving average, it's protected by the pivot, so very, very safe. And I'll look to take half of these up, probably up at these highs here. As you can see, we had the previous rejection from yesterday. I'll be happy to take half my positions there and then leave the other half to run. So let's see how that plays out. Okay, so nice move up on the open there, and not a lot of selling, so it looks like we're actually going to break the high. And so if we do, that will trigger quite a lot more buying. So let's see a push up to the high and actually a break of this interim high, which is actually the beginning of Europe. So we're up about 60 pips. So when we hit the top, I'm going to start to take out 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're in a break-even trade. Stop moves to just below the low, and now we can't lose. Okay, so we've locked up a number of pips for the day already. And let's have a look at the higher time frame, because there's a possibility we could go much higher. Okay, so here you can see that we've sort of been slowly making these higher highs, and what that tells us is that demand has slowly been building, and the sellers, look, you can see that 3 times the sellers have tried to push it down. 4 times, twice, 3 times, and then here. And at this stage, every time they've tried to push it down, they haven't actually gotten past the previous low. So what that can indicate to us is that actually the momentum is for the price to actually go up and break this level. Now if you actually see, we have this level at the top here, which is really sort of like a double top. So it's been hit twice very, very clear at exactly the same level. So at minimum, I expect the price to come up into that zone. Hopefully tonight. So from where we are now, it's only another 20 pips. But if we actually break through that level, there's actually clear air for a long way. There's actually no limits. So I'm actually going to hold those last 2 positions for quite a lot higher up, because if we break this, the next stop is about 80 pips away, and then after that it's really blue sky for quite a lot of pips, sort of 600 or 700 pips. So we're breaking a multi-year trend line, and so we actually could see a huge move. So I'm going to be holding these for hopefully, if I can, a couple of weeks, maybe longer, maybe a month, and hopefully we can make this trade an incredible trade. So let's just look at our history for this morning so far. So we have about 70 pips that we've clocked in with one scratched out trade on pound yen, and we currently open 4 positions for a total of over 40 pips. So we're over 100 pips already for the day. So let's come back later and we'll recap this trade. Okay guys, so we had a massive reversal, and so I ended up selling it. We're currently up a whole ton of pips, as you can see. So I'm just going to take out some of these as we're heading into our moving average, coming down to the pivot. So I exited those last 3 long positions for break even, so we lost nothing in those. The only current loss we have is our GGA position, which is down about 5 pips. So I'm actually looking to go long again, so let's come back and see what happens. Okay, so big push down, took one up for 15 pips there. So now we're doing really well. So it's only half an hour past the London Open. We're up at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, easily over 100 pips, a lot more. And still got one open for 14 pips. And just watching price action. Again, here's our trend line coming up, and we're going to see if we get a break of that, or if we get a rebound to actually go long and fulfill a higher time frame. So we always have to keep watching price action to determine what's going to happen next. We can't actually assume what's going to happen. We can't read our own perception to the market, but have to follow what the market tells us it's going and where it's going. So this last position, I'll be moving it a lot lower, and let's see what happens. Okay, so trade is the next day, and you'll see that we actually managed to sell the high of the day. So our sell was right in here, and we observed this trend line. We were expecting a push down. Sure enough, we got a sharp push down, small reversal, and then a cascaded drop. Bit more of a retracement, and then a drop at the end of the day, and then massive buying to the close of the day, which gives a strong indication that Monday next week could be really strong open in a bullish sense. So there's our entry. From the entry to the low of the day was almost 90 pips. So it was a great trade. You remember that we did a whole lot of scalping in this region here, and we got about 130 pips or so, and then we took this baby short, and our analysis was correct. So that's it for the week. Great trade to finish the week. Have an amazing weekend, guys. Go over your trades and get in touch with us if you're wanting to enroll in a course at our university, and we'll teach you to read the markets effectively and trade like a master. Okay guys, that's all from me. Catch you again next week.